Hey class, it's me, Dave Kime, Diet Cherry Pepsi. This is part 3 of our Geology of Mammoth Cave lecture series. I know this is the best thing ever since, I don't know, Friends or other things. Today we're going to talk about the 4 levels of Mammoth Cave, A, B, C, and D. And we have a special guest star with us today.
Hi, it's Ray. Hi.
So this can be slightly participatory. Once again, if you remember from part 1, we have a layer of sandstone and shale. And what does the sandstone and shale act as, Ray?
A roof.
A roof, excellent. And then we have this thick block of limestone where all the cave exists. And generally speaking, the top layer of that limestone is about 690 feet above sea level. So that's kind of the start of the cave system. And we're going to be talking a little bit about how the Green River, and the 4 levels of Mammoth Cave, of which we saw 3 on our field trip, and how those all kind of relate to each other and relate to the Green River. Green River is the master water table, and everything it does affects what's going on in the cave. So we never saw level A. Level A is a unique situation. There's only one passage of level A in all of the 412 miles of Mammoth Cave. There's only one passage of level A, and it's believed that it formed right at the beginning of cave formation, and it formed when there was a crack in the sandstone, and water got down here into the limestone and basically flowed down dip straight to the Green River, and that's level A, and that's right around 690 feet elevation there. It's only in one place. It is Collins Avenue in Floyd Collins Crystal Cave, and it is a nice canyon, and it's probably formed directly from the water coming through into a crack and forming a little short part of the cave there. But then we know that there is the large cave passage of level B, and then the tube cave passage, I guess I'm drawing this in different styles, of level C, and then there's the weird tube passages of level D. What do I want to say about this? It's all controlled by the Green River. As the Green River cuts down, water starts to try and get to the Green River. Now over here off to this side, if all the water is running this way, all the water is running this way to get to the Green River over here. Over here, off in the sinkhole plain, when the Green River cuts down and level B starts forming, that's actually when you have the sandstone. If I were to extend this out into Cave City, say, or where we were at Park City, where we looked in those little sinkholes, and I'm just off the board here, aren't I? Then we were standing on the edge of the limestone, on the top of the limestone, and water was falling straight into those sinkholes and joining an underground river that started to form level B. So level B and the sinkhole plain formed at the same time when the Green River cut down to about 600 feet is where level B is. And that was forming probably for around 10 million years that it took to form level B. So you have this beautiful but little incidence of level A that is just right along the ceiling, right along the bottom of the cap rock. That's just a very localized cave formation. And then we get into the regional cave formation. So this is very local, and then all this is regional. So level B forms, and it's forming for about 10 million years. And then, and we talked about, and I'll talk about some more in part 4, how the Green River level goes up and down and up and down, and it fills with sediment, and it covers the whole region with various sediment and stuff like that. how that happened several times over these 10 million years. That's a long time for level B to form. And level B is that big, huge passage that we're in the Rotunda, the entire Violet City route that we walked that first day. Frozen Niagara at the end of the Introduction to Caving tour was also in this big level B passage. So 10 million years, a lot of stuff happens in those 10 million years. And then suddenly the Green River drops down and we start forming level C at 550 feet. So all of the level C passages are about 550 feet. That included Fossil Avenue in New Discovery. That included Black Snake Avenue, where we were talking about geology when we went under Giant's Coffin on our geology day, and some other examples of that. This all happened about 600,000 to 1.2 million years ago. So we're talking about 600,000 years of cave formation instead of 10 million years of cave formation for level C. And all this happens when the Green River is controlled by, I'm running out of space to go, but controlled by the Teys River. Teys was the major regional river that the Green River dumped into for about 600,000 years, and that's when level C was forming. And then what happened? And then what happened was that the Ohio River formed. Ice Age actions are happening up by Cincinnati. The Ohio River forms, and the Ohio River is about 50 feet lower than the Teys River. So guess what the Green River does? The Green River cuts down another 50 feet, and instantly the cave starts cutting down at about 500 feet to level D. And this cut down happens so quickly that the water draining out of level C actually crashes down into the bottom of the cave and goes under the water table and forms these these loops that go under and around the water table. So level D is a tube like level C, but it's kind of weird because the drop from level C to level D was so rapid, the water actually crashes down in and goes below the new water table and carves out cave below the new water table. So level D, man, people are emailing me left and right. Level D passage. We talk about historic level D, and this is all in the last 600,000 years. In the last 600,000 years, level D is forming since the Ohio River gets in place. Level D, we talked about historic level D, like River Hall, where those benches were that we sat at, and we talked about how it occasionally floods, but typically it's not active. And then we talk about active level D, where there is water right now, down by River Styx, down by Lake Lethe, that we saw on that geology field trip day. We were also in historic level D on part of our Introduction to Caving tour when we were down at the bottom there. So level D is kind of weird because that 50-foot drop from C to D is so rapid that the cave doesn't have a great time to respond, and the cave passages actually dip under the water table, and so it's those low dips that are active now, and the higher part of level D that's more like River Hall, where it's only wet if there's a massive flood going on. So those are still active passages right now, from now to 600,000 years ago. And if you remember, I said that one theory about the drop from level C to level D, and we're still talking about the Green River, but where's the Green River going? For level C, it's dumping into the Teys River, and then the Ohio River comes into place, and the Green River is now dumping into the Ohio River, and that drops the river level and drops the level of the water coming through the cave and forms new cave passages. That was so fast. You should think about it like falls, like at Cumberland Falls, or maybe even Niagara Falls to some extent, although smaller. And as that fall line worked back the Green River, eventually you hit Mammoth Cave, and within a short amount of time, geologically speaking, you go from the Green River at Mammoth Cave being at level C to that waterfall eroding back the Green River and suddenly dropping into level D, and literally creating some sort of waterfall in the cave itself, creating a very distinctive 50-foot drop to level D. So level A, localized, small crack in the sandstone formed a cave up at 690 feet elevation. Level B, you're dumping into the Green River, but it's taking 10 million years to form, and you get all sorts of different things going on over those 10 million years. And then finally, during Ice Age movings, you get the Taze River is the major regional river, and that's when level C forms at 550 feet. And then finally, the Ohio River comes into place, and very rapidly you get this kind of odd level D. Some of it is no longer active except in floods. Some of it is forming right now. And that forms around 500 feet depending on where you are. We'll look at the big regional picture in part 4, which will be the last part of this. But A, B, C, and D, all in the limestone. Again, this is all in the limestone. Do you have any questions?
Okay, so this probably won't happen in our lifetime.
Yeah.
But do you think a level E will ever form?
That's an excellent question. And if something were to drop the Ohio River or drop some other river, and Green River continues to cut down, you would expect this to get lower and lower. Eventually you run into less pure limestone. So level D right now, the active part of level D is right up against some limestone that has a lot of silica in it, and it's not prone to forming really nice cave like Mammoth Cave. So yes, if something happens to drop the water table will drop, the water will respond, and you will get new cave passages at that level E, but they probably won't be as nice as what we see now, because this block of limestone is really nice and pure, good limestone, easy to dissolve, and then just right at the edge of level D is it's still limestone, but it's a silica-rich limestone that would be much harder to dissolve into nice big cave passages. So it would be, yes, it would happen, but it would be kind of a crappy level E. So
rip tourists in the future.
What?
Rip future tourists.
Yeah, exactly. It would be for future tourists. They would have to wear clothes that the silica would slice through, and stuff like that. So, what else?
I think you did a great job explaining.
Okay, so as the Green River falls in response to regional things, the different levels of the cave get eroded away. And that's part 3 of the geology of Mammoth Cave. We'll see you for part 4.